All right, Georgia Tech this week, huge challenge for us. Um, you got to start with Coach Johnson and the job he's done overall. Um, he's certainly represented the Coastal, and I think 3 times in the ACC championship game, and shooting for a fourth. And he's just done a wonderful job there at Georgia Tech. His offense is one that is one of the more difficult ones to prepare for, and to try to slow down, quite frankly. He understands his system so well that he doesn't even need a call sheet. He just watches the game. He knows exactly what to call. He sees something. He knows how to counter punch. If he sees something, there's probably nothing you could put in front of him that he hasn't seen before and that he won't react to properly, and then his guys tend to execute extremely well. The quarterback, Marshall, amazing guy. Just game one, Tennessee runs it 44 times for over, almost 250 yards, I think it was, 5 touchdowns. I mean, that's pretty incredible for anybody in one given day. And then he averages over 10 yards per attempt when he throws the football. There's been no interceptions. He's playing extremely well. Ricky June, get this, career-wise, averages over 27 yards of reception. And that's the danger of the offensive system. They'll run it, they'll run it, they'll run it. You got to put everybody in the run game. You have to play man-to-man. Rarely is there any kind of safety help deep. So somebody's going to get a one-on-one shot. Everybody's trying to stop the run. Quarterback pulls out of it, lays it up, and it's a touchdown a lot of the time. So just a great challenge there. And then Benson, their their running back. He's number 2 on the team with 119 yards a game, rushing. So they run the ball. I mean, against Tennessee again, 86 carries, 86 rushes for over 500 yards rushing alone. Amazing statistics there. Coach Roof, Ted Roof, their defensive coordinator, I've known him for years. He's a great person, a great coach. His defenses are always extremely fundamentally sound, great tacklers, great hustling. They get lined up. They don't get confused. They do a superb job. Their secondary is very, very experienced. Gray, number 5, a former Parade All-American, kind of leads that group. Mitchell, the linebacker, number 51, he's, I think this is like his 30th game for them as a starter. Simmons, number 93, leads the defensive lineman with 12 tackles, 3 sacks. But a very physical group, and I'm sure they'll be well rested for this game. Extra point field goal. The field goal kickers had kicked 2 out of 4, and Harvin, the third, 44.8 yards per average 44.8 yard average per punt. He's had 5 over 50 and a bunch of them inside the 20. So, field position is such a huge part of this game. It's if you haven't seen a game with Georgia Tech and an opponent, or you see it just very sporadically, if you don't see it every week, what you're going to see is a team that's built on execution offensively, like I said, running the ball. A 10-play, 12-play, 18-play drive is not a shock. It happens. It's almost, if they're backed up on the 10, you almost get nervous that they're backed up on the 10 because they're going to methodically go down the field and probably chew up 10 minutes and stick it in the end zone on you. So the key to this game is going to be able to get some stops, and it's going to be, the turnover margin is going to be huge, and the ability for the offense to maximize any drive that we have. We on average, you probably go 3 to 4 series less per game when you play Georgia Tech than you do in a normal game. Sometimes as many as 6 drives less than you normally would have. So, offense must maximize what's going on, and you cannot lose the kicking game. It may be a push, but if you lose the kicking game, you're probably going to lose the game. So, everybody's got to be on their P's and Q's, ready to go, and ready for an exciting game. I'm very thankful and excited to be home. We hadn't been in Hard Rock in a while, and I know our fans are going to do an unbelievable job for us as far as being there for the Cane Walk and also being there to cheer. You know, our student body will be there. Last game we played at home, student body was still out of town, and now they'll be back. I remember game one, they were ready. They were there early, they were ready, and they made a difference. And I'm going to say one more thing about our fans. When we were in Tallahassee and we were in the pregame warm-up, I mean, our fans were already in there. They were set, they were ready, and they made their presence known to our team and myself personally, and we just really appreciate them being there, and then we're thankful they could stick around at the end and enjoy, the celebration with the players afterwards.
Mark, given how physical that game was against Florida State, were you able to do everything you wanted to do in practice today?
Yeah, we did everything. We have to do everything. You know, today is a day. I mean, this is a game where your scout team, offensive scout team, against your defense, has to get after our defense. We have to block full speed. We have to cut block full speed. We have to play as fast as we possibly can. We cannot. You can't do a walkthrough on assignments and get ready to play the game. The game is about defeating blocks, getting off of them, and making tackles, and being disciplined where you don't let somebody just spit out of there all by himself for an easy touchdown throw. That's not the totality of it, but that's a big part of it. They're going to have a blocker for just about every defender, so you can't whip a guy's trying to block you and you whip him. If you get 1-for-1, in other words, if you don't come off the block and try to make a tackle, they'll take that all day long. Most offenses will, but this one in particular, the quarterback who can run like he can run, you got to not only defeat a block, you got to be able to go make a tackle after the fact.
Mark, you've been a very good second half team in your tenure here. Do you think your staff makes very good halftime adjustments? Is that a factor? Is the team in much better condition than they were when you arrived?
I would say this year in particular, I think we made. I don't know if we made great adjustments, but I know we don't panic at halftime. I know we don't start changing everything at halftime. I think it's more of a reinforcement of do what we did all week. Just relax a little bit, take care of business, and do what you're supposed to do. And I will say that I think the weather cooling down in the second half has helped us the last two games because of we did lose some conditioning during the hurricane time. There's no question about it in my mind. And the first half of Toledo, first half of this last game, very hot, very humid. And, I think our guys were battling, but the reality was it was rough on us. And then second half, weather cooled down a little bit, get a little bit of a breeze, and before you know it, I think that has helped us. So, hopefully by the end of this week, we had a good one today. Because last week, we're in the air conditioning Tuesday, air conditioning Wednesday, losing 2 hours of sleep per day because we're traveling to the Dolphins' place and back. Okay, so we're waking them up at 4 o'clock in the morning, whatever it was, 4:30. And then on Thursday, we're going to go out no matter what, and the horn goes off within 5 minutes. We're in the air conditioning again. So we had 3 days in the air conditioning. We're trying to get used to the heat last week, and it was hard to get there. Now today we had heat, we had humidity, and when the guys had to fight through and battle through practices, which is what we need. Well, I think that and the fact that Amon is, he's struggling right now. He's not 100%. He may play, but can he go the whole game? Amon Richards, if he was 100% healthy, probably would have been in the game that last play, But Amon was not able to do that. And so how far along is he? Did he get set back? We gotta find out. And we didn't give him, we gave him the day off today to rest and to try to heal down a little bit. So he's going to play more probably just by virtue of the fact that we got some guys down. We take DJ Dallas, move him to running back. We got Dale Harris who's got one more game suspension. So that's three guys right there that aren't getting reps, aren't getting work. Well, somebody's got to fill in and take those reps. And we play at least 2 deep, sometimes 3 deep in a game.
On Langham, I wanted to ask you about when you arrived here, you basically had a couple receivers in Langham and Tyree Brady who it wasn't clear if they would play much. You also had 3 corners. It wasn't clear if they would play much in terms of Brian Mays, Terrence Henley, Michael Jackson. Mm-hmm. Of those 5, have moved on. Michael Jackson stayed, helped you Saturday.
Yeah.
Obviously Langham stayed. Was
Sure.
there a time, Coach, where you thought that Langham and Jackson wouldn't play for you? And
No.
what did you say about them staying? and
Well,
not
I think those young men were very competitive as far as the skill set you need to compete, but both of them needed to create better habits, and needed to gain confidence in themselves and in the system, and trust us as coaches. You know, sometimes when things get rough, guys want to run, they want to go. You know, and sometimes, you know, there are times when it may be better for a guy to move on. I mean, I'm not saying a guy shouldn't move on, because sometimes it works for him. So I'm for the kids. But the thing with Langham is, from the very beginning, I don't know if you remember some interviews way back in the first spring. I'm like, I got him and Cage are 6'5" receivers, and they're not playing 6'5". They're playing about 6'1" maybe. You know, they got to play big. We've been talking about, you know, use your body, use your frame. If you're not a super fast guy, but you're a big man, well, that's hard to guard a big man. If you position right and you can catch back shoulder balls. I mean, there's not going to be many balls you're going to throw downtown to those guys, because they're not going to run away from many people. But if they get in position on a defender and the quarterback sees that and he places the ball where the ball should be placed, that guy can make plays exactly the way that it happened on the last play of the game. So that's got to be their MO. And they also have to be great. They all got to block. They all got to block. And big men should block better than little guys.
Mark, what have you seen just as he's moved into the #1 back role from Travis Homer?
Well, Travis is a very serious young man. He takes practices very serious. He takes his assignments very serious. He's very businesslike. He knows what to do. He knows how to do it. He's in unbelievable condition. He loves playing the game. He loves playing special teams. I mean, even in this last game, we're trying to give him a break. And like, you know, hey, you don't need to cover this kick. He's like, no, I'm covering this kick, you know. And there was a lot of guys like that. I mean, even like Herndon, Coach Hartley's getting ready to look for a time to sub, give him a break. Herndon's like, I'm not coming out. I'm playing every snap. I mean, Herndon played, I think, 67 snaps on offense, and I don't know how many on special teams. Guy played 80 plays, 90 plays, whatever it was. You know, so a lot of guys were like, no, I'm not coming out. And Homer's one of those kind of guys.
Mark, you're coming back on special teams duty, and you talked about the importance of the kicking game.
Right.
Being that he's so significant on special teams,
Right.
does that worry you a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, every time you take out a guy who was a starter, then whether it's through injury or because of an injury, in this case with Homer, then another guy's got to step up. I mean, Homer was a scout team. He was a special teams player of the game, this past game, and last year at the end of the season he was a special teams player of the year. He starts on all 4 specials, and he does them great. Does them very, very well. Because he can run, he's agile, he's tough, he can tackle, he's just smart, and he tends to have a lot of stamina. But, you know, when he becomes the #1 back, we have to be careful about washing him out there. And now we're thin in spots. We're thinner at receiver because of the reasons I said. We're thinner at running back. You know, and then in turn you become thin in your special teams. And all of a sudden you got guys that were second team, maybe third string during camp, learning what to do, and now they're in the game when it counts the most.
You get a sense that Devon could be long term?
You know, he didn't practice today. He'd be questionable for this game, and you got to just, you know, ankle sprains, you just kind of got to go day by day and see where they are. But right now, I'd say he's questionable.
What were there? Redwine and Delaney. We saw
Redwine, Delaney, I can't say status so much on them. I mean, I'd just say day by day, and we do the injury deal. I keep forgetting Thursday's kind of the day for that, but y'all sneak them in on me. Yes. Did you want some?
Mark, yeah, there was talk, and you'll know best, that Sheldrick might have a concussion.
Yeah, I don't talk about all that. You guys can snoop around, figure it out.
Okay, one more, sorry. Braxton Berrios, I know he was wearing a non-contact.
Yeah, he just banged up, and we didn't need him to get banged up anymore today, really. He's just sore. You know, you play the kind of game he played, special teams, and catching as many balls as he did. And, there's a couple great catches that didn't count, one out of bounds and one in play that we took a penalty, and another one that they called pass interference. I mean, he really caught, I don't know how many balls he caught, and every time you catch it, you tend to get tackled, land on the ground. Even the touchdowns, landed on the ground sometimes. So, but I think he'll be fine.
Did you know that he had this kind of extra gear where he's down all over the place and really?
Well, he was I don't know how to describe the effort other than I know he was tired. I know he was maybe even exhausted. But he knew we needed him, and he knew that he wanted to win badly. And he's probably he is the best route runner we got. He understands the system the best, I would say. He could coach it. Of all the guys, he could probably coach the position. But he's got a heart of a lion, and he's earned the right to do or not do anything he wants, but say anything he wants to his teammates, and they all listen because they were always that way with him. But I think after this one, they're like, this guy's the real deal. So, thank you.